steps,
done.
steep steps,
done it.
not steep,
Would
they're
you
not
still-
that steep.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't
it's
know what-
it's
Brace-
land, so
brace them
it's
stuff.
No, it's cement. Stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, this is great. We have a full house tonight. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. If you want to move up here, you can, Michelle, to the table. She is one of our other alternates. And did you get a copy of the agenda? Okay. So the first thing we have is the minutes from the last meeting. And
And they didn't get sent out.
they didn't?
We didn't get any minutes.
Did I send them to you? All right. I have them here, but I only have one copy.
Yeah.
So we might as well hold off till next month. Yep, sorry. My fault. So put those down and we will do them, review them at the next meeting. And will you, I guess we need to have them resent.
I thought I sent them on to you.
I just received the Joseph schedule, so I didn't receive anything else.
Okay. Sometimes.
That's right. So
I'll try
just,
again.
the schedule was with them too. But only, all right, if you will resend it,
Okay.
and I will get them out to everyone. I guess before we start, no, that's further down. Financials, were the financials with the paperwork you picked up today?
No,
No, okay. We don't have the financials
no, I didn't have any,
for this month then.
I didn't have any, no.
Okay. You all know that we,
But I've got some money I need to, I got some money that I need to submit on
okay,
the financials.
okay, let's do that.
I have $80 to submit.
And we got money at the Grange this weekend too.
$57.
$57, good. So this,
That's like huge.
and then I've got two bills. Did
Okay,
you bring?
wait.
Did you bring
So what have you got here? Yes, I
$80
did.
that came from the train station?
Okay. I have it here. So we have cash.
We have
$80, was it all donations? Or was some of it
No,
a
some of
sale?
it was sales.
What did we sell? What was the
I think it was
separation?
I think it was a T-shirt,
We did sell a T-shirt
One
on
T-
Saturday, that was
two.
$10.
2 T-shirts.
All right, so
That
were they
was
both
$20.
child?
2 T-shirts for kids. kids' t-shirts.
So that's $20.
That's $20, and then the rest is donations.
$20 there, and you have how much?
80.
80. So then we have $60 in cash, but we have, at the Grange, at the East Wakefield School, that was cash?
Yep.
Donation?
Yep.
Okay. So we have 60 there and 57?
Mhm.
And we got a donation at the Grange as well, but I left it in the basket. And we also sold one of Beth's books for $25. So I have that cash, and so museum sales will be 45. We had a good weekend.
Yeah.
And then donations will be 60 and 57, 117, right? Cash
Yeah.
donations.
This is for 2 weeks. This is for
117.
2 weekends.
Okay. All right, so I'll put this together, and I have the other 25, and we have this. Thank you.
You said the total museum sale was 45?
Excuse me?
The total museum sale was 45?
The total museum sales were 45.
Okay.
No, yes, a book and 2 child's t-shirts, 45. And donations of 117.
Mhm.
So we'll put this in. So, and Phil, you have a bill?
I have 2 bills. Well, I have some bills. You want to go over that now?
Might as well, since we're
Okay,
on financials, or we could do, yeah, let's do it. Let me get,
because I didn't
This
put
is
it
for-
on.
this
We could do
goes,
it on, we could do it on another if you want.
oh, we can do it here. I'll do it.
All right.
I just need
Okay.
the form. Here we go.
Let me explain what this
Mm-hmm.
is. This is a bill that just came in from Duckless Saves LLC. This is the company that put in a mini split down at this train station. And this is what we
The balance.
balance is due. The balance is due, from what I can figure out, is $3,340.
Yeah.
So that's what we need to pay.
And the mini split was installed a little over 2 weeks ago. You've had 2 weekends with it functioning,
Yeah.
and it's worked well, right?
It was installed on June 23rd. So, yeah, it's
You've had 2 open weekends.
2 weekends. Yep. It seems
Okay.
to be working fine.
So I need to have, let me put the number in, and then I
And
need
their
signatures.
address,
Well, I need signatures on here, that's all, for now. So right now, the balance was $33.40. And,
That's out of Fund 4, right?
Yeah.
Is that out of Fund 4?
yes,
Because the selectmen wouldn't let us put it in the budget, right?
it's Fund 4, right?
Yep.
Okay, so here's the balance owed. Here is a sheet that has
Well,
to
we
be.
got some more. We got
Okay,
some
what's
more.
this one?
Yeah. These are 2 bills that I created. One from Long Meadow. I went down, had to buy a new water hose, watering can, and a water spigot. So the total for that is $100.97.
Okay. We can,
So that's,
we can put this under Fund 1.
yeah,
So what's the other bill?
this is the flowers for the.
That can go under Fund 1 too.
Okay,
So we're
this is
gonna
the
put
flowers.
those under Fund 1. The total, what's,
This is it's $120.09. That's for the flowers for the train station.
yeah. 120 and what, 9 cents?
120 and 9, 120, and then the other one is $100.97.
Okay, so everybody, now these are new bills. So the flowers for the station and the, some maintenance
Well,
hose and watering
Yeah.
can, and what was the other thing? That was it, right?
It's a
Spigot.
nozzle.
Nozzle. And the total comes to
$100.97.
22106, right, for the two of them.
Yeah, but this one will be paid out of Fund 4. This one's gotta come to me.
This can, oh, that goes to you?
This one comes to me.
But it can
This one-
still come out of Fund 1.
Yeah, Fund 4, Fund
One, we're
1.
gonna take it out of the maintenance.
Okay. But this one to Long Meadow can be paid directly.
Okay.
This one comes to me.
Is your receipt.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is my suggestion, because we have funds in Fund 1 under the maintenance line, so we would not have to take it out of our Fund 4, that both of these bills get paid out of Fund 1. And if everybody's in agreement,
Yep.
is that fine with everyone?
Yeah.
Then we do not have to add that to this.
Right.
It goes on Fund 1.
Right.
So, are you gonna be able to get to the town hall tomorrow to take care of this?
No, I'll work my other job tomorrow.
Okay, I will, get it done. So, we're gonna pass this around, Phil.
Okay.
For people, we need 5 signatures.
So have we got 5 members here?
Yes, because right now we have,
Not counting me?
hmm?
Not counting me, do we have 5?
We need 4, actually, 4 of the 7,
Okay. I
so,
won't sign it because you can't read my writing. I didn't think to
You could
bring my
X it.
stamp. Well, I've got a
Okay.
stamp.
so,
You just do initial CT.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so that's.
That's what I could have done.
All the financials.
CMT.
on the financials
Yeah,
on 1 and
okay.
4.
Yeah.
And just keep this separate, so I take this in tomorrow. Need to have this stuff together. And I'll take it in then. So, under, the next thing on the agenda is 5. So as you know, Lydia was, thank you very much, had submitted her resignation, and I have interviewed a new potential clerk. She has been accepted by the selectmen, and it's Donna, who is with us tonight. And she will
Hi,
take
Donna.
over at the August meeting. She is here to meet you all and
Oh, no.
get familiar with things, and hopefully schedule some time with Lydia to get the binder and go over all of that. So, thank you, welcome.
Thank you.
So you've heard the donations. We had no gifts in the past month. Correspondence, I had an email from the Wakefield Brookfield Historical Society, and tomorrow night they have a program that is about New Hampshire Granges. And I can't go because it's my son's birthday, and we have already had planned for that. Is there any chance that you could go, Phil?
Okay, where is this again?
At the library, tomorrow night,
Tomorrow night.
7 o'clock.
Tomorrow night is Tuesday night.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess I can.
And because I think
I don't have
they
anything
may,
I don't think so.
we may learn something, but I'd like you to also talk about our Grange and
Right.
what we have there, when we're open, and that we, in addition to having the entire Grange meeting room as it was, that we also have a wonderful painted screen.
Okay, who's putting on this presentation?
This is the Wakefield Brookfield Historical
Oh,
Society.
Historical Society.
And they
Okay.
have somebody, and it's through the, one of the state program, what is it? Something,
Is Nancy Spencer, she's president?
she's the president,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I got the message from.
Okay, so this is
Tuesday.
Can you go?
July, what's tomorrow night?
Tomorrow is the 8th
8.
at 7. And anybody else, it's an open
Yeah.
meeting. It's
I
at
think I
7
might try
next
to
door
go.
in the
At
conference room.
7 p.m.
Downstairs.
Okay.
But so if you do go, I would like you to announce what we have.
Yeah, I can
And
talk about it.
hopefully the person who's presenting the program will know about our Grange, but the state association isn't in effect anymore.
No.
No, there's no
So-
Granges
No.
anywhere.
And we're
So I don't
fortunate,
know who's gonna put, who's presenting.
some guy who I don't know his name, but I received an email letting me know about this meeting tomorrow night.
Can you send it to me, the email?
Um,
Do you still have it?
Probably not. I may. I will, Phil, if I can
Let
find
me,
it.
if you can find it, send it to me, so
But
I,
all it is
So I'll know who
from
it-
Bruce Rich. I don't know who it is.
Oh.
Bruce just let me know, because he does the promotion for them, that this is being done tomorrow night.
Just
It's
email
probably on
Nancy.
there, yeah, or it's on their website now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but email Nancy.
I'll probably
She'll
go.
give you the whole information.
Can you,
I don't know Angie.
Well, I do.
you know
You
what?
got her email address?
Yeah.
Okay,
I can help you, I'll go, I'll help.
okay.
Can you go?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good.
Right, because I think it's
Because I just don't
important.
want to go there blind and not know who I'm talking to.
We don't know, I don't know who you'd be talking to either.
I don't know what kind of information they want.
They don't want anything. I want you, I would
Oh,
like,
you want, oh,
I
they,
want you to do this.
they don't want any information from me about the Grange?
No. They just wanted to let us
No, I don't know,
know.
I don't know if I want to go.
Oh,
Yes,
stop
you
it.
do. We'll go.
It's never, a
We
big-
will
it's
go.
not a big group.
No, it isn't.
No.
It's not
All
a
right.
big group.
I'll
but-
take notes.
And, yeah, if there's anything new, because you would know if it's because you were the past president.
Yeah.
You would know if there
Well, that's
was,
what I'm wondering, I don't know who.
they don't know that you
They
were the
don't
past
know.
president.
They probably don't care.
I think the people that go to the meeting would care.
Yeah, you should go, definitely.
The person's name is Richard Bailey.
Who is it?
B. Richard Bailey.
Okay.
What
Michelle
is
found
it?
it for you.
His name is Richard Bailey.
And
Richard?
it's
Bailey.
Bailey.
Yeah.
And he just does a program on the New Hampshire Grange.
Richard Bailey?
B-A-I-L-E-Y.
Okay.
And what does it doesn't give any,
No, it just
Credits,
says everyone
or-
is welcome.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was
Okay,
just
so I'll just go
notified.
listen.
Right, and tell them,
Tell them
between the two of them,
if they
you-
want, if they want to know.
I would like you to
Doesn't
tell them.
matter.
Forget it whether they want
Don't
to know or
worry, Ann
not.
and I'll help you out.
Okay.
We don't care whether they want to know or not.
We're gonna tell them, right?
We would like them to know what we have to offer.
Yep.
I went to a meeting there, they had about schoolhouses, one of the schoolhouses, and I told them.
That's right, that's
Yeah.
right,
Okay.
You know, you can just throw in a little
Yeah,
nugget, a little
that's
phone,
right.
you know.
right,
And I'm sure Nancy will speak, can ask you.
right.
I'm sure
Okay.
Nancy will.
Because you can, if you're both going to be there, say you're representing the Heritage Commission.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll wear my badge.
Wear your badge. All good. Okay, all set?
Okay.
Thank you for going, because I think
I'll
it's
go.
important
I'll take
for
notes.
some of us to
I'll
be there.
report back. Okay.
Good. I appreciate that. So the next item was the New Hampshire Preservation Annual Meeting, and Connie, Phil, and I went. It was interesting. It was uncomfortable, right,
Yeah.
Connie?
Right.
It was a wonderful
Old chapel.
early meeting house, Baptist church, that had been moved to that site, but those pews were hard.
Awful.
And the meeting went on for
2
quite
hours.
some time. Was it only 2
hours.
hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it seemed longer than that, right?
But there were a lot of people that we had interacted with, we, the Heritage Commission, that I hadn't seen for some time, that I had interacted with some of our grants, and people who were retired from, not the preservation, but New Hampshire Historical Resources, or had moved on to another position and no longer where they work with us. So it was nice to be there. Thank you, both of you, for going.
I just wish they had more food. They ran out of food.
But we were at the very end. By the time we got over there, and it was a long line.
It
Yeah.
wasn't supposed to be a big luncheon anyway. It was
Thank
a
you, Connie.
mini
No, it
something.
wasn't.
So if they didn't have Dunkin' Donuts, it wasn't enough, right? Okay, I got an email from Free Pest Control Quote, and they wanted to come over and quote for doing pest control at the railroad station. And I'm just telling you that, I don't think it's something we need. If we had any issues, we'd probably take care of it ourselves, correct?
Well,
Why is it free?
Well, the quote is free.
Oh, okay. Have
we
you
do,
had any
we do
dealings
have mice in the
with them?
basement.
Well, they're not gonna get rid of mice,
Well,
probably.
what are they gonna get rid of then? They-
Bugs.
Pest control. Bugs,
Spiders?
Ants.
termites?
But the mice are gonna come in the fall.
They
Yeah.
come-
Do we have mice there
we
now?
can't. I haven't seen any,
Okay.
but I suspect they are. If I put a jar of candy out there, I think the candy will go.
Put a jar of candy out there and I was on, the candy would go, so.
The last time I put some chocolate out, they devoured it.
Was
The
it?
mice, I could tell, because they left little droppings, you know? What
Well,
they-
we need to look at that then, but do you think we wanna hire somebody to come and do that?
No,
I don't either.
because what I did before, I put some traps down in the basement.
Okay,
And
did
I
you
caught-
get some?
I caught
Yeah.
2,
Okay.
but I don't know if there's more than that or not.
Most probably is.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so we
We
get it.
we would handle it ourselves,
Yeah,
correct?
right.
Okay. That's what I thought. So the next thing is the Union Station. We've already talked about the bill. The mini split is in and functioning. What else about the station, Phil? Anything?
Let's see, what else about the
It's
station?
been cleaned. You and I and Nancy
Yeah,
Bancroft were
it
there.
was clean.
And you've been open 2 weekends.
We vacuumed the floor and washed it and been open for 2 weekends. Last Saturday, we had 30 people come to and yesterday was 8, right? Yeah.
But people were traveling back.
Right, and it was
Anyway, by the
hot, and
drinking.
Saturday, as I talked about at our last meeting, Mark Sage's son, and he was the person who had been the owner of the station before us. He had been killed in an accident in Milton, and his father sold us the station from his estate. So the son, I think it was his mother, his stepfather, and and his wife, his daughter, and 2 others came and toured, and I met them there and talked about the things that we had done since we purchased it from him. He actually had been there before, he said, but everyone hadn't. So they were there about an hour and a half, and then they went to the freight house, and they had some trains that they're going to donate that you can switch out, they said, and so it was a nice. They appreciated everything we'd done, and they felt that Mark would have liked what had been accomplished too, because he really wanted to do that.
You know what I was going to ask him, and I never got a chance to talk to him, about if he had any pictures of the inside of the station before it was renovated, as it was a house,
Well, we might have some, because that's what we did.
because I never saw it.
The
'Cause I
other
worked-
thing he's gonna do, excuse me, go ahead.
Well, I just never saw any pictures of the inside of the station before the Heritage Commission renovated.
When we were doing it.
Yeah.
He also, his father had a website, and it's old, but it's still available, and he was gonna send me the link. So we could, if we'd like, link it to our website. And I think that would be interesting, because it was step by step the things his father was doing. So that might be what you're thinking about, Phil. Would
Maybe.
be interesting.
Yeah, maybe.
So that was Saturday, and I haven't seen it yet, so I'm sure when they were staying up for the weekend.
Are you going to talk about the website? That's not on here.
That's
Oh,
under other, we
Okay,
do
okay.
need to.
Yeah, we need
But
to.
Do you want to talk about it? Well, it's our whole website, it isn't just
It's-
Union.
Right, it's the whole website,
Yeah,
so you
so
can.
let's do that
You
under,
can talk about it.
Other.
okay. So anything else at the station? We could talk about you called me today about a leak in the
Well, yeah.
freight
there was-
house, the freight, the
no.
caboose.
There was a leak in the caboose by the chimney 2 years ago, and Chris Bancroft's son, Chris, came down and put some cement around the base of the chimney. And it held for 2 years, so I've noticed now I had to put a bucket out underneath the chimney where the water is leaking right down onto the stove. So,
He let me know that today, and I happen to have a roofer at my house. The person that you recommended at the last meeting was there, Ed Champagne, and I said, would you go down and look at this? And he went down. He sent me some pictures, and I have them here on my phone. He said one is open, and the other, the cement is cracked, and one was wide open. I said, fix it, take care of it, and it's been done. We don't have a bill, but he did it today on Phil's and my approval, because the water is pouring in. So if anybody wants to see any of these pictures, they're right here on my phone, and you're welcome to see them. And we don't, as I said, he just finished it. He did it this afternoon. East Wakefield School. So, other than the roof, do you want to talk
Guess
about
you better
anything?
Leave it alone.
I had 20 people on Saturday.
20?
Yeah, I fainted. And Wednesday I had 5, so that was probably.
And so,
That was good.
one person came to the Grange.
Uh-huh.
Did he come down?
I think so.
And the chicks
Yep.
with the kids?
Yep. They came.
Because now, did she tell you, were they looking for the uniforms?
Yes.
Was it up already?
I took a picture of all them
Oh,
standing
good.
next to it, yeah. And then a lot of people with kids came on Saturday, and I had brought over, pens to dip in inkwells and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And they all tried it, and only one
And?
got ink all over it. I think I have to bring some little plastic aprons. But they were all fascinated with the concept of, so
Is it
I didn't have much of a line of paper that you use, so I ordered some
Right.
from Amazon and a little more ink.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
nice, how nice.
Yeah, and I mowed the front lawn, because nobody still has come yet, so I just mowed up to the
Thank you.
front part.
Thank
I
you.
trimmed
To
all
Brock.
my blackwood.
Because I did talk to How To.
Yeah.
They don't have enough people working for them. They said they'd get there as soon as they could,
Yeah.
but,
Well, I
um,
just did just the
thank
front
you.
edge.
Oh, thank you.
And I trimmed the lilac a little, could use more, but I
I thought the town mowed that.
huh?
I thought the town mowed
No,
that.
in fact, since Mark is here tonight,
Oh.
when we acquired that building, the 3 selectmen that were there on the board at the time
Right.
voted
We know, I know.
that we could take the building as long as there was not any expense to the town.
Right.
And
That
then
was
they
Lena.
did agree, because the town trucks could turn there, that they would plow and turn, which I
Okay.
don't think they've been doing, right? They haven't been doing that.
sometimes people who live down somewhere else plow so they can turn around
Oh.
out of town.
Okay, so we have had nothing,
Yep.
we can't even have the electricity paid for by the town. I think I would like to have the selectmen revisit that, but that's the way it's been.
I can bring it up tomorrow, Wednesday's meeting.
Because it's not a big deal. I mean, obviously, the insurance market is paid by the town because it's under your policy. But there are things that come up, and right now, we have to have a new roof there. We'll talk about that in a minute. But there's a lot of things that come up, and we have paid for the painting, for the other repairs that have been there. We've done everything since we took it over, and we're getting really low on money. And when the Heritage Commission has no more money to care for all these buildings, then the town's gonna be on the hook for everything. and they'll have to decide what to do with all of our museums. So, at any rate, I just, a little bit here and there would be appreciated. Does everybody agree with that?
Yep.
And thank you very much. So I think I would like to mention, do you remember last month we saw what this daughter of a chick had given us, and it was the Boy Scout uniform and some other material and some pictures, and he went to the East Wakefield school. And so the sister, her daughter, and the 3 grandchildren came to the range, and they were really interested. And the daughter and her husband are coming back, because I showed them all the things we have about the chick mill there, and she said she'd come back without the kids, but they really wanted to get to the school. I bet you were there past noon.
Yeah, well, yeah, somebody came in, no,
The guy,
yeah, if somebody came in, so we were closed, and I said, I live across the street, just come in. I don't have to be home
right.
anytime soon.
So they were really excited. I mean, it's nice. We had a donation of a historical artifact. They came back. They're interested. They brought children. They're coming back again. And for you to do what you did there with the pens, and that makes
That's
it more
neat.
alive. But with the younger boy, did he ask you a bunch of questions
Well, I had a lot of different groups in.
at the same
There
time?
was one kid who wanted to know all about the bell in the back, and I knew a little bit, but I'm like, I don't remember what school that big bell came from.
Grammar school.
Yeah, and he was fascinated, so we found the date, it was, done, and I told him to go on YouTube and watch bell ringing videos.
Oh, good.
I said, those big bells that are way up, are fascinating, so.
So that's great. So this one wanted to know what a stagecoach was, because I was talking about this, you were there, Michelle, how the museum occurred, and about the Concord coach, and he says, well, what's a stagecoach? And then the horn, and then he what was the,
I wasn't there for the children.
what was it? Something really interesting that he asked about, and the loom, the barn loom. They were really interested in that, and one of them had somehow taken had history class or something on one of the early Indian tribes and their blankets that they made. So it tied in, they were interested. I
There was
went
this-
home thinking, this is why we do this,
Yeah,
particularly with the children.
yep.
Then it was, I don't know if it's the person who bought the book down at the Grange, somebody was asking me, one of the dads who came with a bunch of kids was fascinated by the book. He says, are there any? I said, there might be a few.
The red books,
Yeah,
they're out of print.
they're out of print. Okay.
But they're at the libraries, and they
Yeah.
can look at them there, they don't get loaned out.
Right, right. I
And-
did know, I know
yeah.
a couple of years ago we had a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, I'll go.
But he was
And-
fascinated.
Yeah. The guy
there
that
was such a
bought,
big book on it.
the guy that came in, and I had to leave, because I was meeting these people at the station at noon. He had taught at West Point, he was very interested in heritage, and the Grange, and they have a summer home here in town, and I think he'll
I think he'll be back.
be back. He was really interested, and he bought Beth's book, and we did take him upstairs and show him the Grange, because he had studied some about it, and then when he said he taught school at West Point, and he was I thought, we need to
Yeah,
keep these sorts of people interested in what we do. So I think he'll be back.
they had a stagecoach down to the Farm Museum. Did you see that on?
Was it a little
online?
one?
Yeah, a
A
little
mini, a
stagecoach.
smaller one?
Yeah, and the kids were allowed to get in it.
What's his name that goes to our church bought it? He texted me.
Oh, Brian?
Yes. He
Really?
wanted to know if I knew anybody that had ponies that could pull it.
Oh,
I
wow.
said, no, I don't. But maybe if he did that for the museum, maybe he would bring
Yeah.
it on Heritage Day.
That would be great.
Would you see him and ask him about that? Do you see him?
I don't see him,
I
but
see him at the food pantry.
We want to talk to him about that?
Yeah.
Okay. And Heritage Day, I think, is the 19th. Is it the 19th of, the 16th of August? 16th.
16th of August.
That would be nice. Okay.
Yeah, that would be neat.
Okay, and nothing else about the East Wakefield School?
No, I just think the bucket would be.
Oh, well, that's the next, so the roof is the next thing. So we did have someone go out and look at the roof, Ed, that you had recommended, and the one who went down today and took care of the freight.
Caboose.
Caboose. And we really need a new roof. It's leaking badly. It's continuing to leak. He did send me a proposal. I have a question for Mark. So we had a proposal last fall, and I haven't gotten an update on it, but we have that one, and we have this other one. Do we still need to advertise for a third? Because in the meantime, it's still leaking, it's damaging the ceiling, it's damaging the floor.
Typically, when we only get 2 quotes and stuff like that, you can accept one without, saying these are the only responses we're getting. So it's not unreasonable to pick from those only 2.
Out of 2?
Yeah,
Okay.
because if you're not getting anything, any
Right,
other
so this
quotes-
is what I have. I have 2 quotes. I have a current one. I have the one we got last fall, which is more than the current one by several thousand.
Wow.
And I did not go back to them and ask for an update. I wanted to see how it went, what you might say at tonight's meeting, because it's already over what we've gotten for the second one. And,
Probably be higher this year.
huh?
Yeah,
And it will be
probably.
higher. And they wanted to charge us $650 to go out and do the quote. And I don't know how it happened, but we didn't get the bill, we didn't pay it, they gave us the quote. And I'm afraid if I go back and say, will you update this, we're gonna be charged the $650.
Yeah.
So Mark, we have 2 quotes.
Yeah.
One is more than 3,000 over the other one. Can we talk about accepting either of those tonight, or what do you think?
I would think that if you've already had it out to bid for a certain
We
amount of
didn't
time.
have, we contacted people, it wasn't,
Okay, but you contacted several people.
and only
And you
one
only got-
gave us a bid last time.
Yeah.
And then this past month, I got a hold of somebody else who said they could do it.
Yeah, so I would say yes, you could.
Okay, then I can discuss it and we can vote on it tonight?
Sure.
Okay.
Good.
So the one we had last fall was 17 something, 600 and something. The one we just got was 14,250. The whole roof needs to be redone. It's leaking in the back too, which we didn't know. The boards, now, the bid does not include if they tear the roof off and any of the boards or plywood needs to be replaced. Let me find the quote here.
But you can see, even from the ground, you can see the things coming
Yeah,
off.
when he explained.
You can see some things around the area that have fallen off already.
Okay, this is, we propose to supply materials and labor needed to strip existing shingle roofing from entire building, including cupola, and install black architectural shingles. Strip the existing roofs, install 6-foot ice shield at the eaves, install a synthetic underlayment to the remaining roof areas, install an 8-inch white drip edge to the eaves and rake edges, install new ICO black shingles, replace metal flashing around the cupola, install a ridge vent, and clean and remove debris, $14,250. Extras, any rotted sheets of plywood will be replaced at $65 a foot per sheet, or $8 per ledger board. Any comment? And so this is Pro Contracting, Ed Champagne from Pickpocket Road, East Wakefield. And you've had some experience with him.
Yeah,
Paul, has
he's
he done-
working on my house now.
All right, and he's the one that happened to be working on, we have some ventilation issues at our house, And I talked to him when we were at the school, and he came over, gave us a proposal. It was very reasonable, and he's at our house working. And I told him we probably wouldn't be able to get back to him because we would probably need another bid. He said that he did tell us he would go out for $850 to just stop what's leaking now, but he said, I hate to do that because
Waste of
you're
money.
throwing away the money, and
Yeah.
it needs to be redone anyway. And so this is a current bid, and anybody can look at it. And he's been at our house several times, and we feel that he's knowledgeable. I think he's done some work for the town, or the town asked him to do some work, and you may recognize the name, Mike. And right now, I know he's doing the courthouse in Ossipee.
Yeah, you finished that.
He's done?
Yeah.
Because I saw he was up there last week,
Yeah, he
but
told
that's
me he
done.
was done when he showed up at my house.
Okay. So,
Do you happen to have the other one from last year? So we could compare?
I don't have it with
Okay.
me, because I wasn't sure. But it was 17
Yeah.
something,
Yeah, it was more than just.
a
Yeah.
lot more.
Yeah.
And it was JMS Roofing out of Wolfboro. And they did do the Grange for us a few
These same
years
people?
ago. No, JMS
Okay.
Roofing. And I wasn't gonna reach out to them until you said, okay, because I figured they're gonna charge me the $650. And people do that, they charge for,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
for a proposal.
That's ridiculous.
Hmm?
Yeah.
It
It
is.
is ridiculous.
Does he want the work?
Yeah,
I
right.
guess he doesn't need it.
Give a competitive bid.
Right.
So what is, do I have a motion by anyone?
I'll make a motion that we accept the bid.
Accept the bid.
Okay,
I'll second it.
seconded by Phil. Any discussion? He also said he would start, I said, when would you be able to start? He said, I might be able to do it as early as either next week or the week after, because he said he was doing his own roof, and I said, you mean you fit us in instead of your roof? He said, I would, because that's leaking, and the more it leaks in,
Yeah.
so it would get done before our next meeting.
In the motion, you probably should have the amount.
Yeah, and so the motion, you made it, it is to accept the bid from Pro Contracting for $14,250, is that
14,
right?
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what you seconded?
Second.
And that, you have that down, Lydia? Any questions?
No, he's local, so give it to the local boys.
Yeah.
He lived here, I think, 18 years, and until just the last few years, he's been in this business a lot longer than that, and he commuted to Massachusetts, and his business was there, because that's where they moved from. And he just decided a couple years ago because there was so many inquiries locally, and he said he wished he'd done it before.
Yeah.
He's got more
Yeah,
business
if I'm
than
not
he...
mistaken, he did some work here in the town.
I know
hall.
he said he had something with the town hall.
Yeah, we had a water leak there, he replaced
He's
sheetrock and everything.
really knowledgeable, I
Yeah.
think. And Rick was impressed with
No, he did a good job.
He says he's been
Okay.
doing it 35 years.
35.
Wow.
And actually, when I met, I sold him his house.
That's right, he
18
told me
years
that.
ago.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't know, I didn't recognize the name.
As soon as I
when-
mentioned the name, he told me that.
Yeah. Okay,
So
so we need,
we need a vote.
all right, so are we ready to vote? All in
Yeah.
favor of accepting the motion to
Aye.
hire Pro Contracting? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, no abstentions. All right, thank you. It's a vote in the affirmative, and I will let him know. That would be good to get that done. Now, some of that money to pay for this, can come out of our Fund 1. I think we probably have most of it there in that last line. Do you have a copy of any of our, I'll tell them which line. It would be the Fund 1 statements. So that it won't all have to come out of our, but if it's gone with this, when we have to do other work this year, it'll be, it's the 810 line. Okay, it's the 820 line. We, as of April, we still had 6,000 in that line. So 6,000, we can take it right out of that line. Okay, with
And
everyone?
what does that line say?
Huh?
What does it say?
Historic
What's-
site renovations,
Oh,
it's the 820 line,
That's just
under
what I-
capital improvements.
Yep.
Okay, good. Next. Grange and Heritage Center, I cleaned, we've been open twice, Wednesday and last Saturday. Michelle and I started working on the 250 display, 250th birthday display, last Saturday. And we've already talked about some of the people in, so it was a good day. Do you have any comments? It was her, she was
I have a lot to learn.
overwhelmed.
I have a lot to learn. I went home and started studying.
Well, you don't need to, you know, you don't need to know it all. I tried to, I went through everything and I just never stopped talking, I think, and I think I totally overwhelmed her and, you know,
I retained some of it. I retained a lot.
I'm sure you did, I'm sure you did. Okay. Blacksmith shop, anything there?
No, no, nothing, I don't have nothing to report except that the wigwag is still in there getting dusty.
But you were thinking about starting to working on getting it ready to paint or something you said at the last meeting?
I don't have time anymore this summer.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know, I could have done it last winter, but this summer I'm
Well, you
right
couldn't have
up to-
painted there in the winter.
No, but we could have scraped and
Yeah.
stuff. But, yeah, there still that whole thing still needs to get worked on.
So we either need more helpers or we need to wait until September?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that make
That
sense?
probably makes sense.
Yeah. Get people
Yeah.
together for September when
Yeah.
it's not so busy.
Yeah.
Okay. Freight House,
Great house. The National Magazine, a lot of railroader, pass these out. On the upper right-hand corner, this is what the issue, it's a National Magazine, the cover is gonna look like. They're featuring our Freight House layouts.
Oh,
So that's the
and
write-up.
Paul, this is something that has been going on for 2 years, right?
Well,
About almost 2
yeah,
years.
well, it's still in the planning for 2, and they
Yeah.
finally took the pictures last summer.
Yeah.
So this is gonna be coming out in the stores within 3 to 4 weeks,
okay.
because it's a September issue, but it comes out a month earlier.
Yeah,
So that's what the cover's gonna, my understanding, that's what the cover's gonna look like.
That's great.
so we can buy that
You
at
can
a
buy that
store?
at the store, right, the supermarkets are gonna have them and
Oh,
stuff.
good,
And it's
good.
gonna have quite a write-up from what I've
And
seen.
Yeah.
it will be out before Heritage Day.
Well, it may be right around there.
Right around there.
Yeah, right around
Well,
that
that's
time.
okay.
Might be right after, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
that's okay.
But it will be,
It's a huge plus. It's a huge
it is.
feather in the cap for the Freight House crew and the work they've done there.
And it'll reflect at the train station too, because
Right.
we have that train convention in Concord in September.
Right.
And this will be out in time for the people to see that, and they're coming from all over the country for this convention. So we're planning on having a lot of people. You said you were gonna be open that
We are
Friday.
going to be
Be
open.
open.
We both,
So-
you and I agreed to be there.
Yeah,
I don't know
we'll
who
be
else
open.
was.
So I think we're gonna see quite a crowd
That'd be
coming
great.
in from model railroaders.
Yeah,
And also, this year, Tour de Chooch is gonna be Saturday, November 29th this year.
And we'll have heat.
We got heat.
oh, yeah,
Those
right.
are the mini splits, so we can be
So
open
Phil
again.
can show up.
Huh?
Put your conductor suit on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about the website under other. Anything else, Paul?
Nope, that's all
really
I
neat.
had.
I like that.
That's great. Thank you for all you guys do there.
You're welcome.
There's nothing on Spinney Meeting House. Heritage Day is August 16th. We're gonna start working on that. We need to get going on that. Is there anyone who wants to like do a little subcommittee with me
To do
for the
what?
activities?
Activities for,
Heritage Day, the 16th of August is a Saturday. We will do the Do You Remember again, and we have, as I told you last month, I think, that we are able to have it at the Resource Center in the afternoon. Also, I've had a request to see if we wanted to do the, have the talk on the island at Level Lake and the massacre. And he's willing to come that day. So I'm thinking if we could get the Resource Center in the morning, we'll talk about that in a second. We could do one in the morning and one in the afternoon. The Do You Remember in the afternoon and have him do this in the morning. It was recently done at the historical, Wakefield, Brookfield Historical Society. Were you there that night, either of you? And so I talked to Bruce about it, and he said people seemed interested in it. There were about 20 to 30 people there. And if we promote it, I think it's interesting. But if we can't get the Resource Center in the morning, we'd have to see if we can fit both of them in the afternoon. So is that something you'd like me to pursue?
The Resource Center, the auditorium probably won't be available.
No, and we actually have the
We're gonna have it in
new,
the dining room downstairs.
we have the new director here, so she could answer any questions. Yeah.
Look around.
Terry,
Answer questions?
any questions about that? Anybody have any questions about the Resource Center or?
I just need to go back and look at my calendar to see what's booked for those days. I was telling her that I could put together a historical tea party, but I have to go before the board of the Resource Center and give them all of the information. And what I need is sponsorship because I have to pay for the hall, the dining room. So I have to get that first, a sponsorship to pay for the rental. And then I can proceed to go to the board and say, okay, this is what I've done. I've got two, they do historical reenactments of like Civil War or different things like that. He's going to be Mr. Pike, who built the Union Hotel. And the reason he built it was to live in, but then he realized that he could turn it into a hotel because there was the train and, they got off the train right there, they could see the big sign. I was totally amazed, I read the red book. It was amazing, and thank you, Phil.
But I'm going to stop you a minute. You're
Okay.
talking about doing that a different day,
Different day.
not
right?
Heritage
Because
Day.
if
That's something different.
you can do all of the other stuff on that Saturday and have both the morning and the afternoon, and I'd rather do it next weekend on the 23rd.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
back to just Heritage Day. She's going to double check that the morning's available, and then we could do both events if that works.
Yeah.
We'll do the barbecue again. Okay. We're going to have to, Craig may help. Snooky won't be able to. Oh, darn it, I have his card in the car. We'll do that when we leave.
Do you usually do barbecue at the train station?
Excuse me?
Do you usually do the barbecue at the train
Yeah.
station?
Yep.
Yes.
Heritage Day, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like our major fundraiser for the day, because everything else is free.
Right. Well, you might be able to, just a suggestion, right across the way from the train station, there's that flat cement, a piece of, I don't know what it used to be, but it's a flat cement thing. And you could maybe set up there if you wanted to do your cooking there, but that's up to
That,
you.
where the big gun used to be, this, this cement pad there, yeah.
Yeah.
We have plenty of room
We
at the
could
station. We
Okay.
use the back area, you know, the area we
Yeah.
usually use, and it keeps people
Yep.
milling around with
Okay,
the
I
other
was just throwing
exhibits
it
and
out there
stuff.
if you
Yep,
wanted to.
Yeah.
that's a great, that would be
Good idea.
nice. So, before we get back to Terry, is there anyone, I have a couple people that might brainstorm with me some other things? Jean?
I would too.
Jean and Elaine, okay. And we'll get things firmed up with Terry, and then we'll see what else might make sense. Okay, so then Terry, want to talk about the, what you just suggested for the following weekend?
It,
And you know what, that fan is is anybody having a hard time hearing?
Yeah, she can
No.
come up front.
Come up and at least to the front
oh
seat,
gosh.
because,
Now my knees are shaking.
or at least there, because it's loud.
What I had thought of, and the only reason this is not my big brainstorm, they do this in Parsonsfield, Maine. They actually have a woman come in and she pretends to be somebody. I went the year that the Tea Party was all about Abraham Lincoln's wife, Mary Todd, which was very interesting because you would have really thought you were sitting with Mary Todd for a couple of things. But anyway, I have these two friends, like I said, they're going to do Mr. Pike and a traveler that's on the train. And they're gonna talk about, you know, all the good high points of the Union, you know, Hotel, which
Yeah.
is, I didn't even know that's what that was from the beginning.
Before you
It's
got
like-
your job.
Yeah, I know, it was like, wow, okay. Yeah, Phil got me into this red book and it was like,
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, as soon as I have the sponsorship and everything else, then I have a go. And the sponsorship, like I said, is just to pay for the hall rental and then, you know, then I can proceed with my tea party. And then it's a lot of fun. This year's tea party over in Parsonsfield was actually $30 a ticket. And I was like, well, that's, but I've paid $22, $25. It went up to
Yeah.
25 the year before. But it's so big, I mean, everybody's interested in coming, and they have a little table for the men, because some men came too, so they were, I think they brought their wives, to be honest.
Yeah.
Probably talked into having to stay.
Yeah.
So they took pity on them and let them eat and have tea, and,
They
you
do
know.
quite a job over there.
Have you been
Oh,
there?
yeah.
Oh, isn't it
They-
amazing?
They bring all the beautiful little, you know, dishes, the three-tiered dishes with
Yep.
scones and
tea
sandwiches.
party
And, you know, they must have 100 little teacups, that everybody gets their own little, you know, it's a great, and Parsonsfield does a lot of fun.
They do.
activities.
So, she is suggesting that we help promote it, and it would work for,
Yeah, that would be the
Resource
weekend
Center and
after.
for us.
Yep.
That's the next
Yep.
weekend.
This
It is the next
weekend
weekend.
after
Okay.
Heritage, which would be great to advertise it at the same time. I just need to work on getting sponsored and getting it. Then once I go to the board and I say, here's the idea, and I've got the sponsorship, the hall rental is $175. Once I get that, I'm good. And I've already offered to give money, you know, some travel money for the
Yeah.
actors,
right.
Oh,
but
good.
I'm gonna do that out of my pocket, so.
So, do we want to participate with them on that? That's what she's asking, because she needs to sell tickets too.
Right, I'll have to do that too.
Yeah, I think
And
so.
we could have them available at the station.
Yeah.
You got a committee that's working on it, or just you?
Here I am.
She's the,
You need some help, right?
Well, you know, I just thought of this when I got the invite for the Parsonsfield one, and I thought, I know just who could be Mr. Pike, and I approached them, and once I confirmed that they were free that weekend, and she was all excited, because this is like what they love to do, it's, you know, so.
what time would it be? Have you any
It would
idea?
be, it probably would start about 11:30.
So
and
it
that-
would coordinate with the rest of the afternoon being open at the station, and people could come over.
Exactly.
That would be the plus
It
there.
would be a
Yeah.
plus.
How much
Is-
would the sponsorship be?
175 is the
To
all
pay for
rental.
that.
That's
But
all I need.
the tickets will be 25, you think? or
We're thinking
20?
either 22 or 25. I just need to kind of put the numbers together for like sandwiches,
Cost.
things like that, the cost of getting it set up. But I guess the main,
August?
Huh?
August, it's in August.
August 23rd, yeah. Yeah. So, but I just need to, once I have that sponsorship, then I go to the board. And I don't think they're gonna say no, because I'm doing all the work and I'm bringing in money, so.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Can't-
I
yeah.
don't see them saying no.
Yeah.
So what are people's thoughts?
I think it sounds like fun.
Do you need somebody to cover the whole thing, or could somebody donate a portion of it?
Well, the 175 is what I've gotta come up with
It could
to
be
rent the hall.
incremental, whatever.
It could, as long as I knew I was gonna get it, that's, yeah, you know.
Yep.
But if I wait for that, then I have to wait to go to the board, and then I have to wait to start selling
Right.
tickets. And I'd rather start selling tickets now, you know, to,
Yep.
yeah. So, that's my, you know, and do you have posters yet for Heritage Day? No, okay.
We
So I
don't
was
have
gonna say
anything
we-
yet.
Oh, okay, because I was gonna say, we can put them up like outside on the building.
Right,
And the crowd that comes in Mondays and Wednesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
We'll all get to see
Right.
it, but the sooner we do that, I think.
so that's what we need to
Yeah,
get working on.
yeah. Because I keep dropping the hint that Heritage Day is gonna be on the 16th,
Yeah,
you know?
so we should figure out the,
Yeah, last year it was a little slow, it was very slow
Yeah.
last year.
but we didn't have a lot of promo. Was that when I was,
Train station.
had been in the hospital and,
I
yeah,
think you were sick
had
then.
been in the hospital, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll work on, we'll have to get together and get going on that.
Okay.
And so are we willing to support that and help with selling the tickets? At least have them in our sites, our different sites? Okay,
All right, so as soon as I, you know, get sponsorship, then I'll be able to do, and he did agree that you guys could use that room for, you know, for the afternoon.
Okay.
I'll just make sure that.
see
it's
if we can do it in the morning
Yeah.
too.
And he said, I said, you know, no charge, right? And he said, right, so. Just
Perfect,
throwing that out there.
perfect. Thank you
right.
so much.
Good.
And
Very
we'll,
good.
so you keep us in the loop on that and we'll deal with getting back to you with posters and other promo.
All right, and if anybody knows anybody that is willing to sponsor, like I said, that's what I'm working on right now.
Okay,
It's just that 175, because I'm gonna donate the other money for, you know, food
To
and
get
stuff
it
like that.
started up.
And I'm getting, yeah, so, all right.
okay, great.
That's it.
Terry,
Any other
thi-
questions?
Any questions? Okay, thank you for coming in.
All right, thank you.
The only other thing we have under other, did anybody, anything else
Yeah, I
on
do.
Heritage
I'd
Day? On Heritage Day before
Oh,
we,
Heritage Day, no.
and we'll get back to you because we've got a little over a month. All right, Phil, go.
I'd just like to introduce a couple of people that are here for the first time. And Elaine Shippey.
Your
she-
first time?
And it's first time.
It's her first time
okay,
here.
well, I'm sorry.
And she works with me
Michelle
on
was here last
Saturdays.
time.
Saturdays down at the station. She's been down there for 2 or 3 years now, yes, on Saturday.
Oh, more than that, yeah.
More than that.
5, 6
She's,
years.
she's been a great help to me down there. And then Kat Loring, that is Nancy Hall's daughter. Everybody remembers Nancy, of course. And so she's been helping me on Sundays.
Right?
And it's been a great help for these two people to come in and give me a hand.
Yes, we appreciate it. Thank
Yeah,
you,
we do.
thank you. So we're gonna work on the schedule, but we have one other thing under other, which is our website.
I have a couple of things too.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay, website, were you able to get in there and get,
I was not able to get in there.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we never heard back from the gentleman that said he was gonna help over the.
No, we never did. No, I don't even remember his name, do you?
No.
The man that was gonna help us over the winter.
No, I don't remember.
All right, so we need to deal with getting this website updated because it still says we're closed. which has been a big concern. So we need to get,
Have
so,
Have you talked to Hugh
Well, I
about
have the login, I need to get
Getting
your
in?
security, you need to.
I need to be
authorize
available
it.
when somebody
Right.
says, like Lydia texted me one day that she needed, that I needed to get the code from GoDaddy, that they, but it was several hours later before I saw the text. So when somebody's doing that and
We'll have
needs
to
me,
coordinate.
I need to know
Right.
that it's gonna happen. So, do we think we can get this done in I mean, it says we're closed. And I've had
I
a
could do
few
it for you
emails
quickly
about
this
it.
week,
and
I'm sure. If I know when you're available, I can do it quickly.
I can be available
You gotta get that out right away,
Yeah.
because people
tomorrow after. My
complaining
husband
about
has a
it.
doctor's appointment in the morning. When I get back by mid-morning, from there on the rest of the day, 'cause I'm getting ready for a birthday dinner, I will be home,
Okay,
other than coming in here and dealing with all this.
okay. Yeah, I'm free in the afternoon too, so.
Hmm?
I'm free in the afternoon, so I'll get in
All
touch
right,
with you.
why don't you send me a message when you're ready,
Okay.
and then, because do you know what you have to do?
So you need it updated with that we're open, that's.
No, but how to get what you
Oh,
Yeah,
have
I
to.
sent her the
She
You
sent
sent
me
it
the,
to
she sent
her?
me the login
Yeah.
information,
Okay.
so I don't know
All
what to
right.
do with till I log in, but.
We'll get started with that, and we want to also keep Donna in the loop on this, because she's gonna be able to work on this
Okay.
when she starts. And she actually did you see Michelle yet?
No,
Okay, as soon as she gets to see Michelle, we can actually start using some of her hours this month, even though I've been told, because I have enough time budgeted, money's budgeted, that I can use both of them this month. Right, okay. Which is, the summer is when we're busy anyway, that's when they
Yeah.
have more. So, okay. We need to, so the website's a big thing. We'll deal with that tomorrow, and you can pass that along for me.
Okay,
On Wednesday, it
I
should be
will.
changed by then.
I will.
All right, so the docent time, are we pretty much okay with it? If we've got Elaine every Saturday and Kat every
Well, Elaine
Sunday.
might wanna have a day off.
Well, she told me she would,
Yeah, I mean, I might, so we thought we might be able to help each other out, switch off.
and I can always be a spare, as you
Okay,
know.
yeah, that's good to know,
As long as I,
something
you know.
comes up.
The other, so then, if we don't, do you think 2 is enough? Do you want to try to get, we definitely going to need everyone on Heritage Day.
Heritage Day, everybody.
But this
So
coming week,
the other venues, they're gonna be closed on Heritage Day, or they're gonna be open?
No, they will be closed.
Closed,
Yeah.
okay.
so, this coming Wednesday, I will do, oh, you're on,
I just put down that I'll do the range, but yeah,
can you do that?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I need a key back, right?
Hmm?
My key was given to, I think,
You
To
have
me,
my
I
key.
have the key.
what, you want my key?
No, she has my
I
key.
have a key.
She's the only key I have, and I left my scissors and a bunch of other.
My key was given to
Do you have an extra one?
I just have the one.
Because you're gonna probably, we can't assume that you won't need it in the next month. So we need to get a couple more keys made. So Grange on Wednesday,
So I'm gonna get her Wednesday.
yeah.
I'll give it to you for Wednesday. We can coordinate.
Wednesday.
So
And
the
then,
on- So the only change, the only day I'm gonna need help is when Elaine or Kat
Can't be there.
can't be there.
and if they let us know in
Let us
enough
know.
time, I might be able to, and Ann, and so the only other times are, we gotta work on then the Grange and the East Wakefield School. So, let everyone take one of these for the next month. So this,
That's for
So far.
August.
I can do Wednesday.
you can do Wednesday,
I can. It should shut my phone off because for very
Um,
silly
I should
reasons.
pass this around.
My dog's glucose monitor was going on.
Give it to
Sorry,
Mark,
can
you
you
can
watch the
send it
noise?
out.
So-
This is 7.
So I know when Nancy Bancroft, when her company will be gone and
9.
by the end of this week.
Right, so
Is
why
that-
don't I say I'll do this week, I'll do both this week, and then.
The East Way, you'll
Yeah, I
do
can do-
Saturday
I can
and
do-
Saturday?
Yeah, because I know she's busy, this,
All right, and you can do,
it makes a big noise, I'm gonna apologize every time.
okay,
See if I get
Annie,
to my
you're gonna
calendar.
do Wednesday. I'll do Saturday then.
Have you signed up for this
And you know what, if, basically,
for August?
you at some point will be ready to fill in too, right? So why don't I get in touch with Nancy and we'll, between the 5 of us, we can figure out the rest of these days for July, and that
Okay.
makes sense?
Yeah, that's right.
Instead of spending more time tonight, because
Yeah.
I know Nancy will be able to help.
Yep,
Right, as long as we have, so we have the rest of this week. Annie, you're gonna do Wednesday, I'll do Saturday, you're gonna do the school both days. Okay. And then I'll have to be back in touch. I just know I can't do, I'm not available at all on the 26th anywhere. So I know we're gonna need help there. I have a big event going on.
Elena, are you all set for the month of July, August,
August?
January? No, July. July, every Saturday in July that you know of right now?
Well, yeah, the only thing is, my father-in-law's property that we've been dealing with, we were going to have a yard sale on, the 16th, is that a Saturday?
It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
Oh, no, that's a Wednesday, oh, it's the 19th.
19th is a
It's the
Saturday.
19th. If, I think
So-
maybe we can swap and I can do Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All
And
right,
I'll-
so,
That's the
Actually, you
19th.
know what, that whole weekend, I've got something else going on Sunday.
Saturday and
All
Sunday.
right, so why don't
maybe
you,
I can get it covered.
Kat, stay with your Sunday,
Okay.
and we're talking about the 16th of,
The 19th.
the 19th of July, right?
Yeah,
I can do that.
thank you, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not available at all that day, so maybe hopefully Nancy can.
Okay, so why don't we just right now, the Grange and the East Wakefield School have to be, could you do one of those?
Sure.
The Grange
Grange,
on Saturday, the 19th? And the school,
let's say I can do it if I can.
and we'll see about Nancy, so, okay. All right. Anybody have anything else? You had a
So
couple
this is-
things.
This is, for me, all set up.
Yeah, you're perfect. How about
Good.
that?
I just got one quick question. Did you notify the security company with my info about calling me if the alarm goes off at the Freight House?
No, we should.
I know
we
we
talked
talked about
about
it
that.
last meeting, and I haven't heard anything, so
No,
I'm just curious.
So, I know you're, I'm not gonna ask you to give me your number at the meeting. Want to pass me the piece of paper? Did you give it to me last time? You probably
did.
did. Just write it there under Paul, please. And you have a couple
Oh,
things.
I have a couple of things. So I was thinking about, I always put money in the jar to make people think about donating.
Right.
So I thought about other ways to make, so I made this little
Oh, that's
thing
neat.
up to put in front of the donation jar as kind of a little push. And I tried
Yes.
to word it very nicely,
I think that sounds
open
like.
to, changes.
I love it, I love it.
That's great.
We talked
Honey.
about it.
We need to do something to bring money in.
And I
Yeah,
can make
we
one
would-
for each of the sites. I can do a picture and I can do one for each
That's
site.
a
Perfect.
good idea.
Just, it might
That's a
make
good
somebody
picture.
throw a couple of
Right,
devices.
right. And we have one at the station, but
Huh.
it doesn't have a picture and I don't think people see it.
No, I don't think people see it either, and I was talking to Jean about that. We
Mhm.
were having a conversation, and I said, maybe we should paint it a brighter color, put it in a more prominent
Yeah.
location, something to draw their attention
attention to it.
Maybe
If I-
move it, the kiosk
Yeah.
out so people see it as they come in.
Or if we just kind of pop it
And
up a
make
little
it-
bit,
yeah.
you know, just
If I,
say
and I'll
that.
take a, no, there's probably pictures, or I can come down and take one and make a little sign that goes.
Yeah.
People will- When there's a picture involved, they
Yes.
will.
Right,
you know.
right.
The few times that I've actually mentioned donations to people, they take their wallet right out.
Right.
And
Yeah,
they're
and-
happy to donate.
People were
because
looking
it's
at the
such a
ceiling at East Wakefield, I said, oh yeah, we need a new roof, and, you know.
Yeah.
I'll try to talk it up before the guy comes.
Yeah. Good idea.
Oh, and the other thing, this isn't about Wakefield, but I went to the Milton Historical Society, has revamped their little site down in Milton Mills, and they did a great job. I went there on.
In Milton Mills or in
Yeah,
Milton?
Milton Mills. It's right, you know, where the Ira Miller General Store is, it's
Yeah.
just right up the street from that. And they've revamped it all and done a beautiful job. I work with somebody at the food pantry who is involved in that, and if anybody ever wants to go, you know, it's on their Facebook page when it's open. They really did a nice job.
Oh, good.
Because I've been
good.
there a few years ago, and it's totally changed.
It's
Yeah.
nice to see what others are doing.
Yeah.
Gives you ideas.
Yeah, and you and I talked about that, the Littleton Museum
Right.
that I went to, which uses QR codes, which I think is wonderful. It just makes it easier for the docents. It's not, you know, it doesn't put the docents out of the job. It's just, you know, once you record something on a sound bite, you just use like Google Drive, and then the QR piece
Yeah.
is just a free app.
Do they
usually
do
a lot of
that at
times-
the Children's Museum where you work?
They didn't do it at the Children's Museum, and we don't do it at Moffett Law. But when I worked at Strawberry Bank, we had something similar for our garden tours. So they would scan like a QR code at each of our gardens,
Mhm.
and they would hear sound come out of their.
Yeah, so we could do it on some, I think it's a great idea.
A little bit of time to set it up, to make the sound bites.
Yeah,
And then, I mean, you could just start with a few of them,
right,
and then add on as time allows.
right.
It's a great-
Does anybody might be good at that?
I mean, I could give it a whirl.
I mean, I don't mind
I
figuring
would
out,
love to hear you talk about these things because you're so knowledgeable, but,
but I don't mind doing that, but I can't do the tech part.
yeah, we can figure it out.
All right, all right. Does that sound good to everyone? Okay, anything else? Anyone else? I'm gonna ask Mark from the selectmen, anything?
No, I was just, you know, thinking about all these buildings, you know, is there any, you know, like, the Conservation Commission, they put out that their conservation, like adopt a conservation land. I'm wondering if that's something that you could,
Adopt a
Kind of-
what?
they adopt, you know, like they adopt, like the Gage Hill or Union Meadows, like the Lions Club adopted Union Meadows. A gentleman from, Oakborough, I think, just adopted Gage Hill. And I'm thinking, you know, like for like mowing and stuff like that, could you, you know, like put it out, you know, like, you know, we would like to have it
On our
adopt-
website?
or something like that, you know, if someone wanted to come around and wanted to say, okay, hey, I'll mow that lawn, you
Right.
know.
And we did, the guy that
Like
rented
cemeteries.
the Spinney Meeting House mowed for us
Right.
that the whole time.
Yeah, something like that, you know, something
But-
that you know, has a lot of interest in, you know,
Right.
like the
I
area.
was
and-
telling Elaine that at one point we were trying to do like a membership, if you belong, but what are they gonna get? We don't charge at this point, so you can't say, you know, it's a free entrance for the rest of the year. But I remember when we first started it, we were doing a newsletter every other month, and so they got the newsletter. But, you know, I was the only one doing it, and now we have a lot more people.
The library has the Friends of
Yeah,
the Wakefield Library.
right.
Maybe thinking about something,
And they don't get anything for it.
no,
No.
you know, except the library stuff, but maybe not as a big a scale, but maybe something we could think about. I think the summer's not-
Somehow
not something like
promote,
that, But the winter,
right.
try to think about, could people, kind of like the idea of adopting it, becoming.
Right.
Yeah.
Adopt a
Yeah,
cemetery, the whole
member or
thing, yeah.
something,
Yeah.
you know.
Because we do need, I mean, we spent all those years doing fundraisers, and some of us got
Gingerbread.
totally worn out, right,
What you
Connie?
best say.
Gingerbread.
Takes a lot of bake sales to raise a building.
That's right. And
Lot of
we,
gingerbread.
and we,
Can't
we
blow that,
raised
you know, whatever that thing
hundreds
is.
of,
Yeah,
we
whatever.
raised hundreds of dollars,
Oh, I
hundreds of
know.
thousands of dollars.
Absolutely.
Bread if you want to make some more.
No, I've had it with gingerbread.
But yes, I think things like this, maybe not at a regular meeting, but maybe sometime we can meet, maybe not in July or August, but sit down and come up with these ideas and get started on it.
Because
Because
you
I
all,
think,
you all know we got another building coming that,
yeah,
we
tell
don't
us
have
about that.
anybody, you know, the Wakefield, the East Wakefield Church, that's by the
Advent
cemetery.
chapel, yeah.
Yep. We're gonna be getting that, I think the deed's actually in process now. So that's something we have no plan for, you know, it's basically sitting there, you know, Phil's seen it, it does need work, you know, and, you know,
It's
I've
a
been
sh-
thinking
it's-
outside the box here, thinking, you know, I know the Heritage Commission doesn't wanna get involved in it and stuff, but maybe
Well,
some,
only because there's no historic value in the interior right yet, and we don't, we have too much on our plates already, as
oh, I
you
know,
know.
and, you know, and that's
'Cause
why
you
I was
asked-
thinking like maybe throwing that out there to some people in East Wakefield, because I'm thinking, you know, that would be a good place to like have a, you know, a funeral or whatever, you know,
Oh, yeah.
minus the bathroom, whatever, you could always put a
Yeah.
porta potty out there if you had to. But
But
just some
I
place
would-
to have a, you know, someone that lived in East Wakefield that wants to be buried there, maybe to have a service there or even
Right.
some other function, just like you do down at the Spinning Meeting House.
There are a lot of different groups in East Wakefield. I would think that you would find somebody who might want to use that building. You
Well,
know,
it's pretty rugged right now.
We know.
Yeah, you'd have to, you know, get the floor shored up and the ceiling and the roof's an old metal roof, but it doesn't appear to be leaking, but that would probably be something that needs to be done, the soffits and all that, but, you know, other than that, it's just gonna sit there. It does have electricity. It does have one outlet on it. That's a plus.
yeah,
But,
just in that anteroom, right?
what's that?
Is it just in the anteroom where the,
Yeah,
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 that's
like
what I
you go in the
thought,
door, it's
yeah.
right off to the left. And
yeah,
It's like legal, you have to have one outlet off down
Right.
the bottom of your box.
so, okay.
I know,
We-
it's just, you know, I'm seeing a lot of new faces here, I think that's, I'm pretty encouraged with that. And, you know, that's, maybe I think it's reaching out like to that, to some of the other committees or whatever, and
Right,
you might find some interest there.
right. Good. Okay,
That's all I
anybody?
got.
All right, well, thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Anyone
thank you,
else
Matt.
have
No
anything?
problem, anything for you.
Okay, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, thank you very much.
Did you see Mark's shirt?